Welcome back to Whitt Acres. It's supposed to be a decent day today, so I have a lot of things I want to try and get done, so I might be just bouncing around, but I figured I'd bring you along and show what's going on this time of year, because it's a pretty busy time of year and I haven't been able to put out a lot of videos because I'm just trying to get some things done. Hey puppy, what are you doing? I'm out here walking puppy and I noticed that the phlox is starting to bloom. Look at that. The phlox will be purple and white, and it's pretty much wild all around this area. It blooms for 4 to 6 weeks, and I really wish I had more here on the property. Good morning. Hi, animals. Is everybody where they're supposed to be? Hey, pigs. Hey, eggers. Puppy. What are you doing, eggers? Oh, we do. We got a stray. I'd eat, pup. Don't eat any of the chickens. What are you doing in there? You trying to take care of the Cornish, huh? I'd eat, pup. You stay out of there. Come on, girl. Knee. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, Echo, back up. Come on, you can make it. There you go. Leave it shut for you, puppy. I guess you can look a little bit. You don't need to go in there. All right, time for their food. That's what they're crying about. Got the Cornish on the 12-12 schedule so they don't actually get food all the time, because then they'll just get fat. I moved them up here so they could do some more running and not get fat. Puppy, I gotta step in there. So, they're about to go wild on this feeder. Look at them. Oh, puppy. They are eating machines. It looks like one can't really get in. Come on, guy, find your way in. Well, come on, you can do it. There you go. There you go, buddy. Get something. Hey, what are you doing, Mama Hen? What are you doing in here, Mama Hen? Get out of here. These ain't your babies. These ain't your babies. What are you doing here? Echo, a lot of heat. Alright, I don't need you being a Mama Hen. Here, you get out. You're not taking care of these chickens. Echo, let her out. Zeet, life. What's she doing? What's she doing here? What are you doing here, girl? Are you Bonnie? Are you Bonnie? What are you? Ah, you bitch. If you're nice, I'll leave you in here with them. Stop it. Zeet, life. Puppy sometimes gets excited and he needs to just calm down for a second. Sit down and calm down. What are you doing? Come on, what are you doing? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. There we go. Got her out. Okay. You stay out there with your flock. You come home, pup. All right. This is actually the eggers feed right now too for the first 16 or 17 weeks. That's what the eggers get. But this is the start of the second bag. So these Cornish cross are 3 weeks old, and I'm getting into the second bag of food here. 50-pound bag. And there. They're all good for the day. That's all they need. The eggers have a 10-pound feeder instead of a 7. And I mix in now that I think they're about 13 to 15 weeks old. I'd have to actually look at a calendar to figure it out, but they're getting close to laying age. So I put in some of the Do More 20%, and I mix in some of this 16% layer mini pellet, so they can get some calcium and some nutrients coming into their laying phase. I don't want to just switch them off cold turkey to a new food, so I like to just mix it in. That way they get little by little instead of a full switch over, which might cause some problems with them. I don't switch my dog over on food cold turkey, so I'm not going to do it to the chickens. They're still stuffing their faces. And then I'll give them a little handful of scratch grains right next to their flock block on their metal lid. Give them something to peck at. Huh, girls? What, puppy? We're done with the chickers. And we're done with the eggers, too. They got water. They're all set. Let's go. Hey, pigs. What do you got to say? What do you got to say, pigs? It looks like the pigs are going through their water. Almost done there. And it looks like our food bowls are cleaned and empty too. You guys must be hungry. Huh? Coming in, pigs. Coming in. Watch it, watch it. Take a food bowl. And I'm going to take your water too. You can get your water all dumped out, pigs. Don't eat my crops, pigs. Not yet. Hold on. Don't eat me. Get your food ready. Back up, pigs. Back up, pigs. Coming in, coming in. There you go. There you go, guys. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, what, you wanna fight? You wanna fight, buddy? You wanna fight? Pigs. Alright, eat your breakfast, pigs. Eat your breakfast. Pigs are all eating their breakfast, all happy and tail wagging. You got, fresh water. You gotta get their fresh water in there. Sorry, guys. Alright, now the pigs have fresh water and breakfast. They're all good to go. I think they're having competitions to see who can poop highest on the wall. And we definitely had a clear winner last night. We're definitely about 4 blocks high. Why are you making all that noise? So I'm finally at the point I've been trying to get to all winter. It's getting the barn full of animals again. So we have 32 chickens and 4 pigs up in this barn, plus a puppy. And that's not enough. So next week I have more animals coming. So make sure you're subscribed down below so you'll be notified whenever those animals come. We got a fresh pile of mushroom compost delivered yesterday. I want to use this to fill my raised beds so I can get some cabbage and broccoli and onions and other stuff that should have been out already that I haven't been able to get out because I haven't had the mushroom compost to fill the beds. But before it gets too hot, I want to get those things out so they can start growing. I also got 5 tons of river gravel dumped off so I can finish stoning in the pond and we can make some progress there. Pond maintenance videos will be in my Whitt Acres Aquatics channel, so we won't be working on the pond in this video. I have this Jurassic fern, the autumn fern, that I want to plug into this pot right here because the one I had in there last year did not come back. so I have a replacement I need to get plugged in. We have the dianthus out here starting to come into bloom, a bunch of volunteer annual burning bush, and the azaleas just starting to come into bloom. Once the rhododendrons come into bloom, we'll start our first garden tour over on the Whitt Acres Garden Tours channel. I'm also doing some reshaping out here in the front garden, and I have a Cleveland pear and a blue Atlas cedar that I want to get in the ground that have been in pots a little bit too long. I'm not ready to actually start this new garden, so that'll be a new video, but I am trying to get these two structural pieces in, the two larger trees, so they can get out of their pots and start growing in the ground until I'm ready to actually start working on this new expansion of the garden. Our white azalea is doing glorious this year. This is the best I've ever seen it. I pruned it last year, so maybe that's helping. But look at this plant. This is just completely covered in white flowers. It's just perfect. It really doesn't get much better than that for a white azalea. Just beautiful. So yesterday I built something. I grabbed all the maple tree branches all around the property that we had pruned off and were laying there. I brought them down, I organized them here by the garden. I picked the ones that I want, cut them into place, and I built a garden gate. It's not quite finished yet, but I'll probably finish it today, all but the hinges and mounting it, but the actual gate itself will be built. I'm pretty proud of it. It looks really nice, so we'll see that later in the video, so stick around. And there's one last thing that I want to show you before the bloom stops. Oh, my temporary waterfall just went off. I hooked my sump pump up so it would pump back into my pond like the pond's supposed to work. And I created a little temporary waterfall, just a hose pumping off a rock. But it does look pretty next to my lilies. So I picked up a few lilies at an amusement park I was working at, and so I was able to grab some lilies at an amusement park pond that I was working at, and hopefully they're going to take. This is the time of year to take them, but it's really not the best place to put them because I'm going to have to drain this water. But hey, I might get a bloom. You need a drink, pup? That's deep. Don't go in there. Watch it, buddy. That's deep. Yeah, just get a drink on the edge. So we are working diligently on the pond every chance we get. The intake bay is up, and I'll be getting a video out on the intake bay build. But the pond is starting to fill up with rain and groundwater. It hasn't rained actually for like 5 days, but you can see the pond is filling up all the way to the waterfall level, because I have my sump pump pouring back into the pond. So all the groundwater that gets collected from the French drain I have underneath the liner gets pulls down in there, and then it gets pumped back into the liner. So if I have any leaks, all the water goes into the French drain and then gets put right back into the pond. So it should be a pretty self-sustaining system as long as I keep running the pumps. All right, I got distracted, but I did want to show you one more thing before they finish up blooming, because I don't think it's going to make the garden tour. The allium is just beautiful and giant too. I got big hands, and this thing is that's a good 4-inch ball right there, maybe 5. And we have more too. They're popping up all down this bed here. And this thing, I forget what it's called. I remember putting it on a video before, but this thing is doing great this year. It's a succulent looking plant, and it's sprawling out through the stones here, and I think it works perfect for the spot. Gets plenty of morning sun, and as you can see, it is loving it. It is just a gorgeous little plant, and as long as the dogs don't step on it, I think it'll do pretty well here. I had 2 of them. Dogs stepped on one, so down to 1.
Also, this vine that I trained last year is blooming out beautifully, coming around the edge of the stone instead of it being all around the tree. Now I have it as a nice little border here, and it's looking so much better contained. It has beautiful little purple flowers, and it's very, very invasive, so to get it contained like this, I'm really happy to do that. And as we make it to the path here, we have a little loud bell hyacinth blooming. That'll get bigger, but we have a variegated periwinkle vine to run the path line, and I have it trained to stay nice and skinny along the brick.
I don't really mean for this to turn into a garden tour, but I've been waiting to get the garden tour out, and the rhododendrons just haven't been blooming, but other things are popping up, and I want to show you what's blooming because it looks so nice. This is my smaller columbine, and it's doing just great. It loves it out here in the partial sun. What are you doing up there, puppy? We're not checking on the chicks right now. No, buddy, we're not working in the barn yet. Here is my new garden gate that I built yesterday. It took about an hour and a half. I just have a bunch of scrap maple wood here that we pruned off of all the maple trees that we got planted this past season. So I made it out of all recycled branches, so I didn't have to pay for any of the wood. And all I did was screw it in with some 3-inch deckmate screws, and I used some fencing staples to hold the branches on. So this is the front, and then this is the back or the inside of the gate, and that's where I put in all the staples to hold it in place. And I think it worked out really well. I was able to use some of the younger branches and put some curves in it and swirls. This branch had a perfect little like notch for the entry of the gate. So the gate will probably open from this side, definitely, and then swing out. I just have to get 2 hinges to put on that side and then put a latch on it. So I will have to buy something to build this gate, but for the most part, it was a free gate. Oh, puppy. Oh, puppy. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. And it looks really nice. Let me know what you think down below. So I'm working on getting some trays packed in with soil. I already got 3 of them going. I'm working on my last one. And I'm going to be sowing some seeds tonight. I need to sow my gourds, my cucumbers, and my pumpkins. So pretty much a lot of my summer vegetables and my winter squash. I need to get sown and started because pretty soon they'll be ready to go outside. They like the warmer weather, so it's kind of okay that I'm getting a late start on these because they grow fast and they don't want to go out whenever we're still having 40 degree nights. So it's not too bad that I'm late on them. But that's just another thing I'm trying to get done today, is get some seeds germinating. Now it's time to get outside and get some work done before the rain comes this evening. Not sponsored, but definitely fueled by V8 Energy. The vines are starting to fill out on the pergola. We got birds in all the gourds up there. We got perennials coming up as well. A little bit of weeds. Got a big old peony coming back. Can't wait for that one to bloom. And now the viburnum, it's done. It had a nice bloom for a while, smelled beautiful, but it's done now. The archway is starting to fill out. We got some more hostas planted in here on the corner and down the hanger as well. Good boy. You can smell it, can't you, puppy? Oh yeah, that is some fresh mushroom compost. Hope she fits. That's gonna be a tight fit. Spot on. I think I need about 3 more of those. All right, I got 3 bucket loads dumped off right there in the garden next to the raised bed that I'm filling. I brought a shovel, and more importantly, the willingness to use it. A nice big pile here that's gonna fill up this big J bed. I don't know why I built a J bed. It's kind of weird, but it works. A lot of space in there. I'm gonna be moving that I bed, I guess, or lowercase L, a straight bed, over to here along the fence line. So I'm not going to fill that one until I get it moved over here. I don't know if I'll be able to move that today by myself or wait for some help for that, but we're just going to get this bed filled up for now. We'll do a check-in on our high intensity bed. The chard is coming up beautifully all the way down, and then we have the, I believe this is the kale coming up. I didn't label anything, but it looks like kale. And then no spinach came up at all. So my spinach seeds must have been bad because I didn't get spinach coming up anywhere this year. Then we have the tango leaf lettuce, the red romaine, and then this is probably is that a turnip or a radish? I don't know. Huh. We'll have to wait and see on that one. This row is the beets that came up very nice. Then we have some radishes that are already starting to bulb up. Let me see in there. Here's some red on there. And then we have some French breakfast radishes. I think those are the dark purple radishes. And then some bunching onions coming up. It worked out really well. We do have about a foot and a half over there that didn't come up with the onions. We have some carrot germination. It's not as good as I wanted, but I always have problems with carrots. So any of the carrots that I do get will be just bonus. And I do have 1 pea that came up, so we'll see how that pea does. This year's probably not going to be my most productive vegetable garden year because I'm taking on so many other projects, but I'm still trying to grow a lot of food that I can still eat and my family can eat, and I can even feed to the animals as well. The garlic is doing awesome. You can see the difference between the soft neck and the elephant garlic. So that's cool that the elephant garlic has started as well. This tango leaf lettuce that overwintered from last year is just massive. I need to actually cut this down. I'll probably do that today. Well, see, I don't want to cut that down because you don't want to cut leaf lettuce in a hot sunny day like it is out today. So that's going to have to stay until we get some rain this evening into the weekend. I don't know what's coming up here. This is probably zucchini, I'm thinking. So that's actually really good. I might separate those two and spread them out. Actually, I need to lift them up because I'm gonna bury them with mushroom compost. I also have some coming up over here too, which could be zucchini, it could be a lot of things with that type of leaf and that squash-like seedling. Tons of cherry tomatoes coming up as expected, so those are all going to get buried. I'm going to rip all the grass out of here before I bury that because that'll just shoot up through, and yeah, then we'll get planting. All right, I'm going to fill up this J bed with that pile of compost, and I'm not going to time lapse it because I want to listen to a video, not film it. If I leave my phone out here to film it, it'll just get really hot in the direct sun. I got the bed full here, filled it up to about 3 inches below the lip because I don't need it to be flush with the top. I can use this compost other places as well. I did leave the big lettuce in here. I just kind of filled in around it. I left some extra beside the garlic because I want to kind of top dress it like I did there with fresh compost to give it an extra nutrient boost. But it's just, the compost is just so hot right now, you really can't be planting in it. It's gonna burn anything. It's just gonna fry it up, fry the roots. So I did save as many of these volunteer squash type seedlings as I could. I even found a fennel and some nasturtium coming up. And then a sunflower that I already plugged in over there because I think the sunflower will be okay. So it's over there in the corner. And then I saved some of the and then I saved some of the cherry tomatoes as well. And then I saved some of the ground cherries as well, because if I can get them to survive, I'll put those up by the chickens or up towards the barn and just feed them to the chickens. For now, I'm going to cover these up because I can't plant them in the compost because it's just too hot. It'll kill them. So I'm going to try and keep them alive underneath that cardboard for now. I would also like to come in here, kill all this grass inside and outside of the fence where I put in the new garden bed here. And then I'll come in with the compost, put a thin layer of the mushroom compost in here just to give the whole area some nutrients for anything that I plant in here. And then I'll come in with the wood chips and match it to the rest of the garden. Just cover it with regular natural wood chips all the way through this whole new area here. I just can't figure out what climbing plant I want on my garden trellis, my entry trellis here. So if you have any suggestions, let me know down below. Echo puppy, it's warm out, huh? But you found some shade. Yeah, you got some shade, buddy. Snack break. There you go, pup. I got a bagel. You get a hot dog. Puppy wants to check on the animals before we start our next project. Plus I have some old lettuce greens and an apple core that I can feed my animals. So we'll take a walk out to the barn. Hey animals, what you guys doing? My eggers? Y'all being good? You're not messing around? Papa, oh, pigs. You guys are just the cutest. Oh, just laying by the gate. Zeus, you big fella. Kidding, massive. What are you doing, little pig? I got you an apple core. We'll give the eggers their greens first. Yeah, you too, chickers. I'll give you some greens. Alright, let's open this baby up. Puppy, you be a good boy. Just gonna take a pinch of these greens. See what the chickers do with them. Here you go, chickers. I know you guys like eating. They're not sure what to do with it. I'll just leave it there for them. They'll figure it out. Puppy, you dropped your golf ball. There you go. There you go. There's some greens for you. Go ahead and try them out. Hey, little pig. Oh, shit. I woke everybody up. Woke everybody up. You want the apple core, little pig? Yeah, you can have the apple core. You going at it, eggers? Getting your greens? Chickers aren't. They don't care about greens. You guys will eat them. Alright, Echo, we checked. Let's go. This video is getting long. Come on. Now I'm going to be planting my blue Atlas cedar and the Cleveland pear down there that already fell over. I am putting them here just so the evergreen will block off that hillside a little bit, and then the Cleveland pear will block off the hillside from another angle. And the Cleveland pear is one that leaves out very early in the season, so it won't be an evergreen, but at least during the growing season and the nice weather when we're usually outside, it'll be covering that whole space and creating a blockage. There's some irises starting to bud. I'm gonna get these two in, dang it, before they get broken from falling over. Up here at the nursery, grabbing some old topsoil that's mixed with cow manure. It's been sitting here for at least a year. Alright, that turned out to be a little bit of a venture, and we got both trees in anyway. Couldn't dig in the first spot because, without going into too much detail, this is where our big maple tree was. A massive maple tree like that one sat here, and the root system is still in the ground. So when I dug down, I hit it too shallow over there. I was able to get a little bit deeper over here, but it wasn't deep enough, so I had to bring in some extra topsoil and fill in around it to bring up the ground level to the right height. I'll be bringing in more compost in here whenever I do the garden, so that'll raise up the whole area and help out as well. But I think I got them in the right position to where they should be able to block that big hillside whenever they get nice and big in like 10 or 20 years. Puppy still got the shade, and the farmer's still going up there. The only other thing in here is a butterfly bush that I was able to pull off the butterfly bush in the garden. I just pulled off a little sapling and just multiplied it. So that one was free, but these other two trees I had to buy. Did I mention the ash tree is blooming? We were thinking about pulling this out, but I think it's gonna stay for at least another season. Alright, I'm back here by the rhododendron and behind the white azalea, and I'm going to be planting that Gold Rider Leland cypress in there by that post. So over here behind the phlox, I just found a little viburnum Chinese snowball bush blooming, and it's a little drop off from the big one we have. And I can't move this big one, but it would be really nice to have one out in the open where I could see it. So I'm going to dig this baby up and probably take it to the nursery, or if I can think of a spot to put it, I'll just drop it in now, but I'm grabbing. I just plugged it in down here along the garden fence, and I think it'll work out nicely. I'll have to prune it to shape it to keep it on this skinny border, but this will be good to have down here because it blooms early and nothing else down here does. So I'm gonna have something for the spring, and then a lot of this is gonna be for the summer. Hey pup, what are you doing? You warm, buddy. I just put in this orange rocket barberry. It was full of color in the nursery and I just couldn't leave it out there, so I threw it over here on the corner by the poplar bed where Puppy is catching some shade right now. Oh buddy, you gotta pull, Puppy. Treka. Treka. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go, Puppy. Well, I checked the weather and it's not supposed to rain until overnight, so I decided to lay out this long line of cardboard on the sun border for the fence line, and then I'll be able to bring in the backhoe and tip out some mushroom manure all along down the line before the rain comes and makes the ground all soft. Puppy's helping, aren't you, buddy? So I added this board next to the entryway trellis because I have a little idea of adding some decorations to it. So that happened today too. But I also got all this compost tipped out on the cardboard. Now I just have to come in with the pitchfork and smooth it all out, make it into a nice level garden bed about, let's say, 4 inches deep. It would be good enough for this. I'm going to be planting some dahlias out here and a lot of annuals. I want to get some perennials in here, but I might not be able to get them in this year because I'm still growing them from seed. And we'll see what I buy. This ending here where the fence kind of turns into the gate will actually be more of a triangle bed, so I'll probably put some type of interest tree there at the center post, so it would go like there. So we'll see what I do with that corner. There we go. We got the 100-foot sun border done. Got it all laid out with the mushroom compost so that the rain coming tonight into tomorrow can all cool it off and get it wet, and then I can come in and put some plants in here. The backhoe really helps. That way I don't have to wheelbarrow everything down, but still a lot of work to get that all spread out there. Get all the cardboard down to suppress the weeds, and then get it all spread out with a pitchfork. Tired. I also came over to the food forest, tipped out mushroom compost down the 100-foot row for my potatoes. So I'm going to work on getting this row spread out so when the rain comes it can cool it off, and then I'll be able to get my potatoes in here soon as well. Chives are blooming. They're just about to start blooming. They still have the paper on them, but they'll be blooming tomorrow. Nice purple flowers. I have a ton of purple flowers going on right now between the periwinkle, the irises, the allium. There's a lot of purple. Columbine and the lupin as well. So it's really nice. I like the purple. Echo Pup's up at the barn trying to check in on the pigs and the chicks. Not yet, pup. We'll check in a little bit. And 100-foot potato row is in, ready for potatoes. Really don't know what this video turned into, but I know I got a lot done and I wanted to bring you along so you could see what's getting done this time of year. I put some compost down around the rhododendron. They'll still be in the hosta here, and a little bit around these hostas and rhododendron coming up here, just to add some nutrients to the soil, because I know where they are it is just a lot of stone and clay. So I would just want to top dress this every year. Man, those hostas are looking good. That is one nice hosta bed right there. I need something in the corner here. I don't really know what yet, but I need to put something in the corner there as a backdrop. But the front drop looks real nice. And then I put a little bit of mushroom compost down here for this garden and for some future plantings. If you haven't already, it's a great time to subscribe. We're getting a lot more put in this year, a lot more garden beds put in, some infrastructure fencing, and we're getting more animals. So if you haven't already, go down to the description, check out all our other channels, our Homestead channel, our Aquatics channel, and our Garden Tours channel, because our garden tours are going to be starting up here soon. That's all for this one. You can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks.